Hello students, welcome to powertutorials. So today we are going to discuss Maths Class 10 CBSE, that is NCERT textbook, Polynomials chapter, and today we are going to cover introduction and also we are going to cover the questions of exercise 2.1. Okay, so if you are coming new to this channel and if this is the first video, I have already covered chapter 1, which is real numbers of maths, and also covered chapter 1 of chemistry, which is chemical reactions and equations. If you're interested to check those videos, I will try to keep it in the description, or else you can also check in the videos or live section videos. Okay, so this video, as I mentioned, the agenda for today's video is we will discuss what is a polynomial. We will also discuss what is the types of polynomial, that is linear, quadratic, cubic polynomials, and then we also cover what is the value of polynomial, like how to substitute, and what is the value of any equation. What are the zeros of a polynomial? We will also discuss graphically how to find it, and then we are also going to solve the questions of exercise 2.1. I think only 6 questions are there. So while if you check my previous videos also, what I will do is I will solve at least 80% of the videos in this video, and I will keep few questions as a homework. So if you want, you can also solve those homework questions and you can also answer in the comment section. I'll definitely verify it and check the solution. At the same time, after completing all the exercise questions, then I will prepare a live session. There I will discuss the homework questions in a live video around 8 or 9 p.m. or also mostly I will try to keep it in my community section as well, when I will schedule that live session, and I will discuss those homework questions in the live video. Okay, so let's continue with today's video. So we'll discuss what is a polynomial first. Polynomial equations. We're going to cover about polynomial equations. So what is poly? Poly means many or multi. Okay, so for example, if I have an equation something like this, like x square plus 2, for suppose this is an equation and I am writing in terms of variable x, so I can write it as p of x. It's not like every variable should be x, it can be any variable. I can also say p of a is equal to a cube plus 4a square plus 3. Okay, this is also another polynomial where the variable is just changed to a. Here the variable is x. A variable is nothing but the parameter which we are using. Also I can also state p of suppose y, okay, is equal to y square plus 4. This is another polynomial, but here the variable is y. Always make sure the variable should be only one. It's not like I cannot say that I have a x square plus a square is a polynomial. Here it is not a polynomial, but here we have two variables. Okay, so here the poly is the multi degree we are talking about, not the multi variable. Okay, so here we have a one variable equation in terms of another variable. So p of x is another variable, and variable I can also say as a function. Polynomial of function x is equal to x square plus 2. Polynomial of variable a is equal to a cube plus 4a square plus 3. Polynomial of variable y is equal to y square plus 4. So these are all polynomials. Hope you understood what is a polynomial. Okay, so polynomial is nothing but an equation which is having a variable in terms of any degree. It can be 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. All the degrees can be possible. So we'll discuss about first what is degree first. Okay, before that, what cannot be variables I need to cover. I'll discuss that, then I'll go for the degree. Which is not polynomial. So what I have mentioned, the equations can be something like this. X square plus 2 can be a polynomial, a square plus 5 can be a polynomial, a power 10 plus 6 can be a polynomial. These are all polynomials, valid ones. Which are not are, for example, if I say 1 by x plus 2, this is not a polynomial. Root x, this is not a polynomial. 1 by x cube minus 3, this is not a polynomial. Or 1 by x root x, this is not a polynomial. So why these are not polynomials? Because these are not in this form, where they should not be in denominator, it should be only in numerator. X square plus 2, here the degree we have, and it is a degree is a natural number. Okay, because for polynomial it should be only whole number can be the degree, like starts from 0 and so on to infinity, and all this should be numbers. Okay, not in this way. Here it is in inverse way. like in inverse, if I want to rationalize it and so on also, I will not get in this form. Here it is x power 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is not belongs to whole numbers. X 1 by x power 3, this is also does not belongs to whole numbers, and this is also does not belong to polynomial. So polynomial should always start from the power should be from 0 to n, and can be any natural number or whole number, sorry, because it can also start with 0. So that's why I can say that the power can only be whole numbers. Okay, now we'll discuss about degree. What is degree of polynomial is highest power of a polynomial. So what is degree? Degree is the highest power of a polynomial. If I say, for example, p of x is equal to x square minus 4x plus 2. What is the degree of this? Degree is equal to 2. Why? Because the highest power of variable x is 2. Second equation, if p of, suppose p, small p, okay, no, don't get confused, pp, I will just change to q. If p of q is equal to q power 4 plus q cube plus q square, that's it. So here if I ask what is the degree of the highest power of q is 4. So degree is 4. The third question, if I ask you, and this I want as a homework question, I want the students who are watching this video to answer this question. P of, I am asking it as P of c is equal to c plus 1. I want the degree for this equation. Okay, this is a homework question. As I mentioned, I will solve this, but after completing all the exercise questions, then I will solve in the live session this homework question as well. Okay, but if you are interested to solve this, kindly solve it and mention the answer in the comment section so that I can check and respond to you on it. Okay, this is nothing but the degree. Now we are going to cover what is the value of a polynomial. Value of polynomial. So what is the value of polynomial is, for suppose if I have a equation polynomial p of x is equal to x square plus 2, then if I solve p of 1, so p of 1 is nothing but you have to just replace the variable x as 1. So this becomes 1 square plus 2, which is 1 plus 2, which is 3. So p of 1 is equal to 3 is the value of p of x. P of 1 is equal to 3 is the value of p of x at x is equal to 1. Okay, so let's solve few more. Sorry. So now we have second polynomial, which I say p of a is a polynomial, and here I am keeping the value as a cube plus a square plus 3. So if I ask you what is the value of this polynomial at p of 2, then it becomes 2 cube plus 2 square plus 3. 2 cube is 8, 8 plus 2 square is 4 plus 3, 12 plus 3, which is 15. Same way if I say what is p of 0, then it becomes 0 cube plus 0 square plus 3, which is nothing but 3, and I am giving the homework again. So this homework is I am asking p of 1. This is a homework question. Okay, I want you guys to solve this. Just substitute 1 in terms of a, you will get this p of 1 answer. Okay, let's see the next topic. Types of polynomials. Okay, I think I missed the types of polynomials before. Okay, let's use it now. Types of polynomials. Okay, so we have covered the degree and we have also covered the value. So types of polynomials will be depending upon degree. Okay, so if the degree is 0, then it is just a constant. Degree 0 is called constant. Degree 1 is a polynomial, it is called as linear. Degree 2 is called quadratic. Degree 3 is called cubic, and for 4 we don't have values, so 3 plus we just call it as polynomial equations. There is no particular name for it. Okay, so 0 is a constant, like something like if I have a p of x, I am saying it is value is 3. There is no variable here, so here it is a polynomial which is having a degree as 0. Okay, and we have suppose p of x is equal to x plus 2. Here the degree is 1, so we call it as linear. And we have p of x, for suppose if I write it as x cube plus 1, then the degree is 3, so it is called cubic polynomial. Same way for p of x is equal to x square plus 2, then it is called quadratic. Okay, so based upon degree we can identify to which quadratic polynomial, to which polynomial it belongs to. If it is 0, then it is constant. If it is linear, then it is, sorry, if it is 1, then it is linear. If it is 2, then it is quadratic. If it is 3, then it is cubic polynomial. Okay, so types of polynomials are not much important, but we can just identify based upon what is the degree. We can identify whether it is quadratic or cubic or linear or constant or even a multi-polynomial, like which is if it is greater than 3, we call it, we don't have particular name for it, but you can simply call it as a polynomial of degree some number. Okay, then we are going to cover the next topic of this chapter, which is called zeros. Zeros of polynomial. Just a minute. So what is zeros of polynomial? For suppose for any value, if the polynomial value is getting 0, then that particular value is nothing but the 0 of that polynomial. So for suppose if I take a linear polynomial p of a, if I write, and the linear polynomial, that degree should be 1. Here see there is nothing means 1. So this is a linear polynomial. If I ask you what is the 0 of this p of a, 0 of p of a means nothing but where the p of a is equal to 0. So a plus 2 is equal to 0. So a value is nothing but, if a 2 to the other side becomes minus 2. So a is equal to minus 2 is the 0 of this polynomial. Okay, same way if I take another equation, p of suppose r is equal to r plus 3, then the 0 of this polynomial is p of r is equal to 0. So r plus 3 is equal to 0. So r is equal to minus 3 is the 0 of this polynomial. Okay, I am giving a homework question again. Find 0 of p of I is equal to I minus 2. I want 0 of this polynomial. Okay, now let's understand what are zeros graphically. Okay, so I will give an example, the same one which we solved, which is p of a is equal to a plus 2 is a polynomial. So I will just draw the graph. P of a is equal to a plus 2. Okay, so for this let's draw let's take a box like this, a, p of a. So if I substitute a as 1, I'm getting the p of a plus 2, which is 3. If I substitute a as 0, I'll get the value as 2. So I have 2 points which are 1 comma 3 and 0 comma 2. So using a graph sheet it's better to draw it, but as I'm doing on slides I cannot use. So if you have a graph sheet in your home, I suggest you to use a graph sheet and try this graph. So for graph sheet you have two axes. This is called x-axis, that is this one variable, and this is the dependent variable, which we generally use it in y-axis. So it is just a numbers like 1 2 3 4. So x-axis I can use a scale of 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit. So just draw 3 points, 1 2 3. Similar left side also 3 points, 1 2 3. So but left side is negative, so minus 1 minus 2 minus 3. Top side positive y, so again I'm using a scale of 1 centimeter, 1 2 3, and below are negative, so it is minus 1 minus 2 and minus 3. Okay, so this is positive, upside is positive, left side y is positive, x is negative, bottom third quadrant we call it is both as negative, and the fourth quadrant x is positive, y is negative. Okay, let's mark this point 1 comma 3. X is 1, y is 3. So this is the first point. Second, x is 0, y is 2. X 0, y 2. Okay, so if you have a scale and if you try to join these points, then it will be marking at this point somewhere like this. Okay, this line is nothing but a plus 2. Here the variables are changed, so this is a here and this is p of a. Okay, so where you, if you notice here, this line is exactly touching the x-axis at a point called minus 2 comma 0. And what is the 0 we found previously? A value is minus 2. So simply I can see 0 of any equation or any polynomial equation is the point at which it is touching the x-axis or the horizontal axis. Okay, so I will write the statement here. 0 of a polynomial is a point intersecting or touching x-axis, which is nothing but the horizontal axis. Here I am using the variable as a, thus it is a axis, but mostly in our practical cases we use the variable as x, so thus we call it as x-axis. So this is the one of the graph which I mentioned in the textbook. So if you notice this graph, the graph here it is y is equal to 2x plus 3. Okay, let's find the 0 first. It is a linear equation. If I keep it as 0, 2x is equal to minus 3, x is equal to minus 3 by 2 is the 0. So if you notice the graph also, you can see this is the graph here, which is the straight line, and here it is touching at exactly the point which is minus 3 by 2 comma 0. So as I told you, the 0 of any equation, if you draw the straight line, mark the points properly and mark a straight line, then wherever it is touching the x-axis, that is nothing but the 0 of that polynomial. Here using the equation I got, it is minus 3 by 2, and here also if I found it is the same point, it is minus 3 by 2 comma 0. Okay, this is for linear. What about quadratic? Quadratic means it is something in the form of parabola. Okay, so I'll just draw for quadratic general case how it will be. For quadratic graph is a polynomial or else parabolic graph. So if you, I think in previous class you might have studied what is parabola. So parabola graph will be something like this, U shape. Okay, so it can be upper U or bottom U, like an inverted U. So wherever this U is touching the x-axis, those are the zeros. So it can be, okay, suppose this is a graph and I have the U somewhere here. So is it touching x-axis? No. Here the zeros are 0. There are no zeros. For this case, it is touching at this point and this point, so the zeros are 2. In this case, it is touching at only one point. Here the zeros are 1. So for quadratic, zeros can be 0, 1 or 2. Maximum can be 2, minimum can be 0. So because for this type of parabola it is not even touching x-axis, so simply the zeros are 0. Even here number of zeros are 2 because it is touching at 2 points, and this side this inverted parabola is touching at only 1 point, which is at 0 comma 0, hence the number of zeros are 1. So for quadratic equation I am repeating again, number of zeros can be from 0 to 2, like 0, 1 or 2, any case can be possible, and these cases are nothing but the number of times it is intersecting the x-axis. Okay, so let's see for this one. So how many times it is touching x-axis? You can see we have 2 points, one is here and other is here. Okay, hence number of zeros for this type of polynomial is 2. What about here? Here also we have 2 intersecting points, hence here also number of zeros are 2. Okay, we are not asking what are zeros, those will cover in the next exercise. Just for this exercise, just understand to find the number of zeros. Okay, so this is a cubic polynomial. For cubic polynomial it will be something like this type of graph, like one curve will be this side and can be this side, or else one curve can be this side and other can be this side. It will be something like this type of graph. These will be the quadratic polynomials. Okay, for cubic this is for cubic polynomial. For quadratic it is used, whereas for cubic it will be something like this. Okay, so here also same thing, how many times it is touching x-axis. If you notice exactly it is touching at only 1 point, which is 0 comma 0. So for this graph the number of zeros are 1. It is touching x-axis. If it is not touching x-axis then the zeros can be 0, but here it is touching x-axis at only 1 point, which is 0 comma 0. Okay, so this second one is a homework where I am showing first and third. So first one, how many times it is, okay, I will change the color to pink, I think easy. So how many times it is touching x-axis? You can see only 1 point, which is here. So number of zeros for this one is 1. This as I mentioned as homework, so this you guys has to solve it and tell me the answer. For the third one I am telling the answer, how many times it is touching x-axis? We have 1, 2 and 3. So at 3 points it is touching x-axis, hence the number of zeros are 3. For this one you guys has to comment and tell me the answer. Okay, let's see the next one. So this is a linear polynomial, linear quadratic, linear polynomial is the right one, because linear means degree is 1. It is a straight line. Straight line is always linear. So how many times this is touching x-axis? At only 1 point, which is here. So hence the number of zeros are 1. This is a quadratic polynomial. This is a homework. You have to tell me how many times it is touching x-axis. That is the number of zeros. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 zeros. It is fourth degree polynomial. So let's see how many times it is touching x-axis. Touching at here 1, 2, 3 and 4. So total 4 times it is touching x-axis, hence the number of zeros are 4. Okay, this is of degree 4, but it can also be high degree as well, because it can maximum can be 4 for 4th degree, but for 5th degree, 6th degree also it can also have zeros of 4. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, in this way the example question is done. So in exercise 2.1 we have only 6 questions, and all 6 are related to the graphical, that is they are asking how many zeros. So let's see the exact question what they have mentioned. We have the graphs of y is equal to p of x are given in the figure 2.10 below. For some polynomials p of x, find the number of zeros of p of x in each case. So we already know how to solve it. So just we need to find at how many times it is touching or intersecting x-axis. So for this one it is not even touching x-axis at any point, so the number of zeros for this question is 0. Okay, and if you try understand like which type of polynomial it is, what is the degree of this equation, it is 0. Here the degree is 0 because it is a constant value. Okay, something like p of x is equal to 5. So this is an equation of this polynomial where we don't have any variable. Any variable means the degree is 0. We also call it as constant function because it is a straight line parallel to x-axis. Okay, second one is a homework. So here we need to find how many times it is touching x-axis. That will be the 0 here. This I will solve it. How many times it is touching x-axis? This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So total it is touching at 3 points, hence the number of zeros are 3. Okay, let's solve the next one, fourth one. Here we have a u is parabola. Parabola means quadratic. This is a quadratic polynomial. If you ask you what is the degree should be 2. And if they ask you number of zeros, so it is touching at this point and this point, so the total number of zeros are 2. This is a homework, you have guys has to solve this. Okay, what about here? How many times it is touching x-axis? We have a point, here is 1, here is 2, and here is 3. It is not going down and coming, it is just touching. Touching means only one point will be present here. So number of zeros are 1, 2 and 3. So this is a homework, so you guys has to try this question and answer. You have to just answer that for exercise 2.1 5, the answer is how many zeros. Okay, so total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so totally has 7 homework questions, and all are very easy. It will hardly take 10 seconds to solve one questions. Okay, so I just want you to try, because if you try, definitely you can remember for long time instead of just seeing and writing. Okay, that's why I want you guys to try the homework questions. Try homework questions and mention in comment section. Okay, in the next video we're going to cover exercise 2.2. few questions. If the questions are more, we'll cover part 1, part 2 and so on. If the questions are less, we will try to close it in the one video. We'll cover all the example questions as well, examples and exercise 2.2, all the questions. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe and enable notifications so that you will get notification for this video in the next part. Thanks for watching.